What's up with it? It's Daniel DeShazer. Everybody know me as DAP. Class of 2011, Wichita High School. It's 2025. It's our 5th annual Hall of Fame banquet. So I hope y'all ready to walk into the Hall of Fame with me. It's definitely been a lot of great memories. So let's talk about it.
Girls with me, they ain't gonna do too much.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, you got boy
Kendrick right there. Yeah, like Kendrick.
Mapes, what's up, baby?
Yeah, Dwayne in the house, man.
Yeah,
Come on, man. Prime time, Wayne, man.
Man.
Mr. 3 interceptions,
Hey, don't
man.
get me back.
That's too
Didn't do it. Don't always gonna show up. Boys,
Don't do me like this.
good seeing you, man.
Man, I was pretty much born on a wrestling match. So my dad, he was actually a 2-time state champ. It all started with our coach from our youth club, Charles Knox, Coach Knox. If everybody know him by, he legendary out here. So, or he coached my dad. My dad was actually his first state champ. And then, so when my dad got done with college, he came back to Wichita, and they was kind of like a tag team duo. So they started off coaching. I had an older brother. My older brother's 5 years older than me. So my older brother was wrestling. And then, when I'm 2 years old, I'm following them everywhere they go around the country, around the world, state to state. So, as I'm following them, I'm learning. And, I'm picking up stuff along the way. Then, my dad at the crib, he teaching us and everything like that. When I was 4 years old, I had my first state tournament. And I got second place as a 4-year-old. And then from the age 5 to 15, I won the Kansas State Championship 10 times in a row.
I mean, a little bit of backstory, he been underestimated his whole life. So a lot of people don't know, they couldn't see the greatness unfolding. But me personally, knowing his backstory, knowing everything that he has been through, knowing his family situation, knowing his, his economical situation, his back, I knew he was destined for greatness. I knew he was going to be something great, and he was going to have a legacy for his family. So I'm kind of a cheat code. It was like being a cheat code. I knew that was going to happen. He was already a phenomenon in middle school. So by the time he got to high school with me, it was set in stone, his legacy.
Definitely the one that's motivating me to keep going, to do whatever I'm doing in life. So right now I'm doing music and stuff like that, and he my biggest inspiration. He the one that's pushing me. He the one that's making me keep going. He the one that he won't let me slip, when it comes to it. And he's somebody that I keep around because for those reasons, like, I know he got the best interest for me, you feel me? So having somebody like that at this age is real rare, But he's definitely a solid and real one for sure. Man, I got to see it live in action, man. I went from trying to tackle him to celebrating his runs, man, be on the same team. But I knew it, man. About second or third game of the season, we played Southeast. Dude had like 5 touchdowns, man, and it was a blur. Every time he touched the ball, like punt return, the coach yelling, "Get away!" He act like he pick it up, he to the house, So he was giving coach mixed emotions. So we were seeing Devin Hester. That's what we thought we were seeing. So at Heights, man, I knew he was gonna be something special, man. Because in the football world, your coach always say you can't tackle what you can't catch. So they couldn't catch him, they couldn't get him. Shit, he was going through the house.
To be honest, I had a few people around me. I was blessed to have a lot of older mentors, a lot of greatness that I got to watch along the way being a young, but like I said, I feel like I was everybody's little brother. So like guys like my older brother, Tristan DeShazer, my older cousin, Charles Knox Jr., Toast. I got to see guys like Michael Bradley. He was one of the smoothest, fastest guys you can ever see on the mat. Thomas Rose, T-Bone, legendary, rest in peace. But, I got to be around those guys. There was a lot of greatness in the room, from a young age. And I was just blessed to have, like, some crazy partners along the way. But I would say I was surrounded by greatness. But to be honest, it was all kind of self-inflicted. To be honest, I had a lot of drive for myself, and I always believed in myself, and I always had a different type of confidence. To be honest, I looked up to a lot of people, but I never really wanted to be like nobody else. I always kind of wanted to make my own path and create my own story. So from a young age, you know, like I see guys, you know, and they'll go win a tournament or they'll do this in football, and kind of a little bit nonchalantly, I'll be like, whatever, I can do that too. So I kind of always had a different belief system in myself, and that was just kind of who I am, and I always had a different type of confidence. A lot of great memories. Even before I got to Heights, you know, I was a 7th grader. My dad was he was one of the assistant coaches at Heights. So when like I had my best friends like Chase and Kendrick, they were 9th graders at that time when I was in 7th grade. So my dad's a coach, so I would literally leave middle school at Stuckey, and my dad would pick me up on the way. We would go to Heights. So 7th grade, you know, everybody else going to regular practice, I was going to practice with the high school cats. So, you know, my Heights journey started a little bit before I really got to Heights. So once I got to Heights, you know, I already had a connection with a lot of the older cats, and I always hung out with older guys. So I knew Kendrick, I knew Chase, you know, there's a whole bunch of other athletes there. But, man, we had a lot of great memories, man. You know, I won state as a freshman going in, you know, I had always held myself to high expectations. My brother won 4 state championships, so entering high school, like, not winning 4 was, like, not even a question for me. And I really believe that. So that's just kind of how I carry myself. But a lot of great memories, you know, like, even my sophomore year, like, Bishop Cura had won over 100 straight dual championships, consecutive in a row. And I was blessed enough to, you know, be a part of that team that was, we ended up snapping that streak. So I had my boys like Chase Nelson, he ended up bumping up 2 weight classes, and he sealed the deal for us. You know, Kendrick did his thing. A lot of everybody else kind of contributed. But Coach Church believed in us, rest in peace to him. And he put this team together. He believed in us, man, and we put it all on the line. A lot of great memories, man. You know, we won state as a football team in 2011. We won team state and as a wrestling team in 2011. It was just a lot of legendary moments, but, you know, I got to do a lot of them with my brothers along the way. Even like a lot of my football teammates, you know, we still brothers to this day. A lot of my wrestling teammates, we still brothers to this day. But more than anything, you know, Heights was a family to me, and they held us to a high standard, and that's just kind of who I am. I always wanted excellence, and I put a lot on my back. So when I was out there, I didn't expect nothing less.
The chip on the shoulder. You know, a lot of people just walk around, when they do a sport or they start a business or they, just in general, they go into the job interview, one thing they do is they don't have that chip. He had that chip like this is where I belong. I belong at the top. I belong, and that's kind of what allowed him to, you know what I'm saying, separate himself from the other, I would say, people on the teams that he played on.
Deserving. That's the word that I have. So right when I heard it, it was deserving. I wouldn't say it was surprising, but it was definitely deserving, you know. So right when I heard the news, I knew, like, I don't expect nothing less. You know what I mean? We like I told him when I was there, like, you know, like when we in the same, you know, we was same class, same everything. I wasn't thinking that far. You know what I mean? Because if any human would, who wouldn't want to be in the Hall of Fame somewhere? So I wasn't nobody. We wasn't 9th graders like, yeah, we trying to be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, we was destined for greatness, and yeah, we wanted to be great. But at the same time, like, Hall of Fame was something that was like, you know, like, even like myself right now, like, I'm finding something in my life right now to where I can get some books too. You know what I mean? That's something nobody can take from you. That's something major, and he know I won't let him think no less of it. Like, I tell him how major it is, man. I went shopping the other day. He with me. I'm telling him, grab something, bro. Grab something. You deserve it, man. You won. He like, nah, man. Nah, you good, bro. Thank you. You've done enough. But me, I'm trying to buy him stuff. I'm trying to, you know what I mean, just to show him how major it is, man. That's why I got dressed and I got fly, man, just to show him, like, man, this reward is just as big for me. I'm not a DeShazer, but I always tell him my name Chaz Mack DeShazer, being funny, you know what I mean, but really because I really support him and genuinely care about our brotherhood that we have, and just want him to keep going. So when I got the news, I knew it deserved. He deserved everything he got. It wasn't nothing given, nothing. Like I said, the fact that his drive, that you can't knock nobody like that. You know what I mean? So deserving is the word that I had for him when I got that call about him going to the Hall of Fame.
I had one key moment that was very pivotal in my life. So when I was young, I'd say, I don't know if I was 6 or 8 years old, but it was this another cat. You know, I was always kind of like the strongest guy. You know, I would take my L's every now and then, but, you know, at a young age, we was traveling across the country to get the best matches. You know, my dad made sure he made it happen. So we can, you know, we had to get the top of the top quality, because Kansas, you know, it was some tough guys, but, you know, I was the man at a young age. So it was this young cat from Oklahoma. His name was Christian Bailey. So he was actually the first person to ever pin me. So it was kind of weird. You know, I ain't never been pinned before. You know, ain't nobody ever seen that. So it kind of hit me different. Hit my pops different. You know, he came out with this face mask on his face. He was a little mean, little stocky dude. He was pacing side to side. And, you know, shoot, I'm doing the same thing. So that day, I don't know if I kind of was a little fearful or whatever, but that day it was like, it was a turning point. It was like, all right, you ain't the alpha male here. So shoot, you know, I got pinned for the first time. And then I want to say maybe like 2 weeks later, we wrestled at Tulsa Nationals in the finals. So we had to run it back. And shoot, he beat me again. And to this day in my life, it ain't too many people that can say they done beat me twice. Definitely not twice in a row. And it definitely ain't too many people who done beat me, who I ain't beat within our lifetime. But after that day, those 2 years, this dude went ghost for like 2 years. Like, we couldn't catch him, we couldn't find him. You know, he was 1 year older than me, so sometime I'm still like in this division and he in the upper division because he's a year older than me. So we ended up making that. We had to make that trip one time. So we went down to a town called, I think it's called Paul Hoskett, Oklahoma, which is actually his team tournament. So, you know, it just kind of let you know who we were as a family too. My dad made sure we went to go hunt this dude down. So I was in the 8th grade division and he was in the 10th grade division. So sure, we had intentions and we had a purpose, and we was going to go get this dude. So this was one of the most pivotal moments, just, you know, as a young buck. And that just, I want to say this carved me as a youngin' unto who I am today. But that day, this dude had been undefeated for like 5 years in a row. You know, he ain't never lost a match. He was a young buck. So we went to go hunt this dude down at his tournament. Like I said, I'm wrestling in the 8th grade division, he in the 10th grade division. My dad made me enter both divisions. So I'm over here wrestling matches in the 8th division. I got to go take care of them. Then I go to the 10th division and take care of that business. 8th division, 10th division. I keep bouncing back and forth, take care of the business. So by the time the day end, I'm 8 matches in. So last match of the tournament, it's me versus him. 10th division. I went out there right away, bow, threw him in the headlock, put him on his back. You know what I mean? So long story short, that was the first time he took an L, and that was the first time where I knew I was him. And it just basically had to have a different type of confidence, you know. So not only did I get that dude his first loss, you know what I mean, but it was the journey along the way. Like, we had to wait for this. I had to simmer. I had to sit there and wait for my opportunity to face this dude again. But in the meantime, we knew it was going to happen eventually, but we had to go hunt him down. And when it happened, we made sure we showed up and showed out. And like I said, so I walked out of there with the OW trophies in 8th grade division and the 10th grade division. I had a pen award in the 8th grade division. And all I remember is me and my whole family, we walked out of there flexing, saying, who next?
In high school, we had a coach who used to give out awards for like fastest pin. And I went out and got a pin in 7 seconds. You know, I was, you know, usually I'll be like, okay, he did good. I went out and got a pin in 7 seconds. I'm like, ain't no way somebody beating that one. Then I went out, then he went out and got a pin in 4 seconds. I don't even think they recorded it. It was so fast. And this wasn't done on one occasion. This was done multiple times, but me specifically, I got to witness it when I had my 7-second pin, thinking I was going to be the fastest pin in high school history, until he pinned somebody so fast that they had to literally mark it as 4 seconds. It might have been faster.
The real definition of a day one, man. I use my own little words, but day one, man. Like, when you think about what a day one is, man, and that's what he is, man. Is a real one, man. Like I said, and like I keep saying, deserving, man. Like, everything he get or got is well deserved. And nothing was given. We was in the 6th grade. We both was, like I said, we don't come from rich backgrounds and having the most and all that. We had to go get stuff. Like, we ninth grade, we know what Jordans is, we know what Air Forces is, we know what polos is, you know what I mean? So when kids was getting to go to All-Star Adventures and stuff, because their parents had about $10 to get them to go there and give them a ride there, we didn't. We hooped outside. We knew if we gonna ask our parents something, it was gonna have to be real, something real serious, you know what I mean? So yeah, we wasn't polo down and stuff like that, because our people, they wasn't what they was into. Like, ninth grade, we shared a struggle together. I slept on his floor, you know what I mean, and vice versa, you know. And we like I said, we come up on $5. We thinking a way to split it together, some kind of way, you know what I mean. And just how life works out, God blesses people that, you know, they stay down and believe in themselves. We look up, and now, man, we do what we want. So God is good, and we rarely blessed, you know. So that's how I can answer that question.
Always be true to yourself and remain who you are, and don't let nobody deteriorate from who you are. Just stay on the right path, man. You know, you're going to get pulled this direction and that direction a lot of the time. But at the end of the day, you got to be a man, and you got to stand on your own 10 toes, and you got to stand on business. So make sure you always remain who you are and take care of business, man. Like, you only live this life once. So you definitely want to leave your legacy behind and bring some other people with you. So, you know, legacy is about not only what you leave behind, but also who you bring with you. But more than anything, when we talking legacy, when your name is on that wall, people got to respect your last name. So make sure you respect your last name first, so everybody else can respect your last name. And that last name going to be on that wall forever. So leave your legacy, and don't wait too long, because it starts now. I know a lot of people, it take them a while to get around to it and before they really hit some on what they're doing in their life. But the earlier you can get on top of it, the better you're going to be. So make sure you leave your legacy and respect your last name.
Please welcome 2025 inductee to the Wichita Heights Hall of Fame, Mr. Daniel WICHITA.
Thank you. All right, y'all ain't gonna make fun of me for being short. Let me take this mic off. I just want to thank everybody for being here, and thanks for having me. It's definitely a blessing to be back here. It's been a while. You know, we get to see some familiar faces. First and foremost, you know, just stepping into this Hall of Fame, just some things, you know, thinking about, you know, it was never about, you know, the accolades for me. It was always about more so like the impact and the legacy that you leave behind you, and more so the people that you bring with you. So y'all might hear my little nephew back there yelling Uncle Dat, but, you know, eventually one day he might be up here. So it's bigger than me, you know. So, you know, first off, I want to give thanks to everybody who has, you know, always been there for me. Everybody that's been here along the way, from everybody here within the school, within Hikes, Coach Wheeler, I mean, I appreciate you. I know we had our ups and downs sometimes, but man, you held us to a high expectation, man, and your leadership was never second to none, and, you know, we got to finish on top. So that was definitely a blessing. You know, we run through practice every day. You call me a prima donna, and I still don't know what that means to this day. So maybe when you come up here, you can clear that up for me. But yeah. And then just, you know, giving thanks to everybody who's been here, you know, my teammates, my friends. We had a lot of great memories. You know, like we won that state championship 2011, 2009. Some of my classmates, some of my best friends. You know, we had some moments where we beat Bishop Carroll, amazing in wrestling. You know, Evan Wessel catching that ball against Dodge City. Just memories that I'll never forget, you know. But more than anything, I got to do with my brother. So it's very lovely. Big bro, I want to give thanks to you. Appreciate you for paving the way. So if y'all don't know my big brother, he was the first African-American 4-time state champion in wrestling. So, you know, I got to grow up watching that, basically. And that just embodies what Hikes was about. When I came here, it was a different standard. It was a standard of excellence. And I had grew up watching that my whole life. And that's kind of like what I was held to. So coming into Hikes, it was kind of normal. But, you know, you got to keep everybody on their toes. So people like Coach Wheeler was always holding us accountable. So just Hikes, if I can summarize what Hikes was, is just a winning tradition and a standard of excellence. I want to get to my parents. Thank y'all for always being there. Thank y'all for, you know, always making sure we was taken care of, getting us to the tournaments. Mom, you know, you was always the glue. You held us together, you kept things moving. Pops, I appreciate you, man. You put that grit, that dog in us, and you took it to a whole nother level as well. Man, we grew up different for sure. And then, you know, just giving you your flowers. And you got Kendrick in here, you got Chase in here, you got a whole bunch of other athletes and wrestlers that you done impacted along the way. And that's what it's about. You know, the accolades is cool, but you done made a huge impact. And we really appreciate that. But the biggest part of it all is, not only did you do that, but you got 2 sons also in the Hall of Fame along with yourself. And that's huge. Not too many families can say they got 3 people in the Hall of Fame. So if you think about it, you're 3 for 3 right now. So that's smooth. And then for my friends, you know, I got a lot of friends in here, man. Y'all always held me accountable as well. Y'all was always right there to hold my hand, always, you know, there to walk the workouts with me. Got my boy Chaz in the house. I remember it was 6 a.m. We'd be walking to my Uncle Tyrone's house, and he'd take us to weights in the morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. Wasn't nobody waking us up. We had to have that on our own. So, you know, that was just a self-discipline. And it wasn't just me. I had some friends that was along the way that was with me. So, you know, it's always, you know, I get the accolades and the recognition, but without y'all, I wouldn't be here. So I really appreciate y'all as well. But, you know, more than anything, man, thanks for having us, man. It's been a blessing. It's an amazing event. I hope this continues. And congratulations to everybody else who's been here along the way. And as I continue to close out my career, you know, I just want y'all to know that y'all all family. And when I'm traveling across the world and I'm competing, whether it's in LA in 2028 for the Olympics, I just want y'all to know that y'all with me. So it's Falcons forever.